This was submitted to us anonymously. One file, no name, no explanation. Just a story about a trail outside Atlanta and what came home with her after. She didn't start running because she heard something. She started running because the trail went completely silent. Every bird, every insect, gone, all at once, like something had told them to stop. This is Maya's story, and I've read every word of it more times than I should have. Because some things don't get easier the second time, or the 10th. Maya wasn't the type to look over her shoulder. After her last client of the day, she always came here, the Panola Mountain Trail, south of Atlanta. Panola Mountain State Park is a registered conservation area in Henry County, Georgia. It covers over 600 acres of protected forest. It receives thousands of visitors a year. In March, the Georgia sun still hung low at that hour, golden, warm, familiar. Maya knew every sound on that trail, every shadow. Between 2019 and 2023, the Georgia Department of Natural Resources received at least 14 incident reports from hikers in the Panola Mountain area describing what rangers classified as, and I'm quoting directly from one document, unexplained sensory disruption events. That's the official language. What the hikers described was something else entirely. Whatever was out there that evening, it didn't choose someone who was lost. It chose someone who belonged there. Maya put her earbuds in, pressed play, and started down the trail. The first 10 minutes were perfect. Then her music cut out, just for a second. Full battery, full signal. She pressed play and kept moving. It happened again. That's when she realized the birds had stopped. Not gradually, all at once. She slowed down. And that's when she heard it. Not a footstep, not a branch. Breathing. Low, steady, close. Not hers. She spun around. Nothing. Just trees. Just shadow. But the air felt wrong. Heavy. Like something large was standing just outside of what she could see. She ran, full speed. And as she ran, she heard it behind her. Keeping pace, not chasing, matching, like it wanted her to know it was there. Whatever was behind her wasn't running. It was walking, and it was keeping up. She reached her car, got in, locked every door, sat there, breathing. She couldn't remember the last stretch of trail. It was just gone. She got home. Bathroom, shower, mirror. That's when she saw it. Left side of her neck. A mark. Smooth. Healed. Like it had been there for weeks. She still doesn't know what it means. She closed the tab and never looked again. Case 2 is from the Pacific Northwest, Washington State. Logged in 2021. A trail maintenance worker, we'll call him D, was checking a section of unmarked forest path in Skamania County when the same thing happened. The birds stopped. Not some of them, all of them. D described it as, in his own words, like someone had pressed mute on the entire forest. He kept walking, and then he heard it. Not footsteps, breathing. Slow, rhythmic. He turned around and saw the tracks. Boot-sized impressions in the mud, stopping exactly where he had stopped, starting exactly where he had started moving again. He never heard anyone behind him. He never saw anyone. The tracks stopped mid-trail. No divergence, no exit. They simply ended. Dee filed a report. It was logged. And then it was reclassified as inconclusive animal activity. He never returned to that section of trail. The third case is the one that keeps the pattern honest. Rural New Mexico, 2022. A woman driving home on an unpaved road outside Taos stops her car because something is standing in the road. Not an animal, not a person. Something that was doing a very good impression of both. By the time she reached for her phone, it was gone. She drove home, checked herself in the mirror. Left side of her neck. A mark she couldn't explain. Same placement as Maya's. Same description. She had never heard of Panola Mountain. She had never been to Georgia. She didn't know about Dee and the tracks in Washington. 3 witnesses, 3 states, 3 years apart. Same silence, same breathing, same mark. 3 explanations have been put forward. I'll give you all 3. You decide which one lets you sleep. Theory 1. Infrasound and large predator proximity. Certain large animals, mountain lions, bears, generate low-frequency sound below the threshold of human hearing. This infrasound can cause birds and insects to go silent, can cause feelings of dread and disorientation in humans, and can, in documented medical literature, cause brief episodes of dissociation and memory disruption. The marks on the skin? Pressure contact. Brush against bark or branch during a fear response, nothing more. It's the most rational explanation. It doesn't account for the matching tracks in Washington, or the identical mark across 3 independent cases with no contact between witnesses. Theory 2. Folkloric. Several indigenous traditions across the American Southwest and Southeast describe entities that do not hunt. They mirror. They match your speed. They breathe when you breathe. They follow not to attack, but to claim proximity. Some traditions call this a form of marking. Others call it a warning. The mark left on the skin is not a wound. It's a record. Theory 3 has no name, no classification, because what it describes has no framework in either science or folklore. 3 people, 3 states, 3 years. Identical physical marks in identical locations with no contact between victims, no shared geography, and no known vector for transmission. If it's not an animal, and it's not a legend, what is the pattern responding to? No investigator we consulted had an answer. One of them asked us not to publish the case files. We published them anyway. Maya never went back to that trail. The mark never faded. But that's not the worst part. Since that night, she wakes up sometimes. No warning, can't move, can't scream. Something holding her down, breathing on her face. The same breathing from the trail. When it stops, she's alone. Or so she tells herself. Dee still works trail maintenance in Washington, different county. He keeps his headphones out now. He says he needs to be able to hear.
The woman from New Mexico hasn't driven that road at night since 2022. 3 open files. No conclusions, no official follow-up. The pattern continues. If you've ever been somewhere you should have felt completely safe and didn't, I want to hear about it. Drop it in the comments. We read every single one. And if the location matches something we're already tracking, we'll reach out. There's another case coming. Different state, different entity. Same silence. Subscribe to Void Frequency. We'll be here, in the dark, waiting.